if you don't miss who they were at the end, but you deeply miss who they were at the beginning, this video is for you. That kind of missing can feel confusing, because part of you knows the relationship wasn't safe and the other part still aches. That doesn't mean you're stuck. It means something important is being grieved. The difference between who they were and who you'd hoped they'd be. Many people don't miss the relationship itself, they miss the idea of what it could have been. The early version, the potential, the moments that felt warm, attentive, or promising. That version that felt real, because it was real in the moment, but it wasn't consistent. So let's talk about why the beginning feels so powerful. Early connection often carries intensity. Affection feels focused. Attention feels meaningful. Your nervous system bonds to that intensity. Not because it's stable, but because it felt alive. And when that intensity disappears, your system searches for it. And what's happening? Your heart, your nervous system, your mind, everything is circling back to what it used to be like in the beginning, to the nice version of them. You're not remembering the version that's just left you in the lurch, that's been horrible to you, that's hurt you, that's done all those terrible things. You're searching for that person they used to be before all that happened. This is what we call intermittent reinforcement and emotional attachment. When care and connection comes and goes, the bond strengthens, not weakens. Because what happens is the brain starts working harder to get back to what felt good. It almost becomes an addiction. Those early moments become emotionally amplified. You don't miss the harm, you miss the relief. So you spend your time searching for the relief. Why letting go feels like losing something real. Letting go doesn't just feel like losing a person. It feels like losing a future. A version of you that you imagined. You thought you was happy, you thought you was settled. You're losing a version of yourself who felt chosen, hopeful, or seen. That imagined future mattered. And grieving it is valid. Grieving what you thought your future was going to be like is a hard one to get over. When you've got children, your family's happy, and you're tickling along nicely, and then all of a sudden, it's gone just like that. So let's look at logic, because logic alone does not stop the missing them. You can understand everything logically and still miss them, because attachment doesn't live in logic. It lives in the body, in the memory, in the sensation, in the emotional imprint. Knowing the truth does not erase the bond immediately. It loosens it slowly, over time. It is literally like a grieving process that you're going through. Allowing yourself grief without romanticising the past. There's a difference between honouring grief and romanticising harm. You can miss what felt good without denying what hurt. Both can exist. Missing potential does not mean the relationship was healthy. It just means you're human. the what could have beens. You're grieving for the future you thought you was going to have, and that is totally okay. It's all part of healing. So what happens when the bond softens naturally? Bonds soften when safety increases, not when you force yourself to move on. Each moment you choose consistency, honesty, and self-respect. The pull toward what was inconsistent will begin to fade, not all at once, because as I said earlier, it's a bit like an addiction, where you want to keep trying to chase back for the nice that's not really there anymore. So it won't happen all at once, it will happen gently, in its own time, and it's all part of the journey. So, what healing looks like here. Healing doesn't mean you forget them, because they've been a big part of your life. It means the memory losses its charge. You remember without collapsing. You feel without being pulled back. The missing becomes quieter. And one day you'll realise it no longer controls you. Because a lot of this is the gaslighting, the manipulation. It's all been a form of control. The push-pull control to keep you confused, wondering if you're doing the right thing, second-guessing everything. It's all part of the hurt. So, you can walk forward now, leave it where it is, feel all the feels, and take one day at a time. So, if you miss a version of them that never really existed, you know, the nice guy at the beginning that did everything for you, that was the love of your life, your soulmate, whatever you want to call them, that doesn't mean you are wrong. It means you saw potential, and potential can be powerful. You saw a future. You're not grieving a fantasy, you're grieving hope. And that deserves kindness. You're welcome to stay here while that grief slowly releases. You're not alone on this journey. If there's any reassurance, the person they was at their end, that's who they are now. So, grieve what you thought it was, what it will never be again. You are allowed to grieve for what's gone. You're allowed to feel it, and you're allowed to keep going. But it will get easier. It won't feel like it at this moment, but it does get easier as time goes on. But you do it in your time. When you're ready, you feel what you need to feel. Do it your way, because it's about you now, nobody else. I've been where you are now, and I've felt all what you're feeling. I think one of the worst pains is grieving for somebody who's still alive. But that's okay. You can feel that way. When you've invested so much of yourself, your emotions, your time, your energy into this person, that is actually what you're grieving for. Everything that you have committed to and invested in. So don't be ashamed for feeling the grief. I'm here on this channel to support you.